This episode is brought to you by Emirates, the official partner of Women's Rugby World Cup 2025. Emirates, an avid supporter of women's rugby, is also a sponsor of the World Rugby Match Officials. Fly better with Emirates. Welcome back, everyone. It is Jess and Ellie and I, and we are back. We're back, baby. We are back. And we are sat on a new couch.
More comfortable.
Way more comfortable. Way more sociable as well. Ellie can give me a little foot rub.
Yeah, I'm not jittering about as much.
Yeah,
I'm playing with my rings.
And the mic's not like going everywhere. But we've had 1 week to reflect on what has been probably the best 8-10 weeks of our lives. We are definitely coming off a high.
Still there.
It's still there, but
it hasn't sunk in yet.
It hasn't definitely not sunk in yet. And we're going to answer some of your listeners' questions. Just so you know, you've kept up to date with what we've been up to in the last 8 weeks, because I know you've missed us. I know you have.
Yeah, we couldn't be more excited to tell you guys what it's been like. And I think this is actually a really good opportunity for us to reflect as well. Like I said, we're still on the high. It doesn't feel like, a few days ago we won a World Cup. So I'm going to apologise about my voice again. I am trying my hardest. I've been singing a lot. And, to the 80,000+ people that turned up to Allianz Stadium, you are part to blame for my sore throat, because you're going to hear each other speak, let alone shout.
Exactly. But going back to the podcast, Ellie, have you missed doing the podcast?
I have missed elements of it. We spoke about it before the World Cup started, that we want to obviously be fully focused on the World Cup. We knew how busy it was going to be, and we're both so grateful of the girls that have stepped in for us, and they've carried the podcast on brilliantly. But I have missed chatting to you. I really haven't seen you that much, actually.
We did say, sorry, this is big exclusive. We were at brunch in Bristol, and that was the first time that me and Ellie had gone out.
I know, it was.
And I said to Ellie, do you just not want to spend any time with me this World Cup or what?
It goes to.
And she went, do you not want to spend any time with me this World Cup or what? And I was just like,
the only time we talk is when we're hugging after a try.
Yeah. Or if Ellie needs to know something about the backs move, or if she needs some reassurance. But yeah, it's been a weird one, isn't it? But I think because we haven't been away, it's like you're still at home. So I didn't feel like I needed to do things with you, but I like exploring with you, and I like doing new things.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really a thing here. Do you know what I mean?
And also we were in places, so we'll get into all this, but there was only really Brighton that you could go out and about. Bristol kind of.
Yeah.
I was stuck in my room playing Guitar Hero most of the time. But also we needed something to talk about on this podcast. So we can't be talking every single day.
We've kept shum and not hung out because of the podcast. So you're
exactly.
welcome.
You are so welcome.
So welcome. Okay, before we get into it, because this episode is going to be listener questions heavy and special, we do have 2 shiny things in the background.
So turn on the video now.
And I know you want to see close-ups of them, so I will go and get them.
We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions.
Dun, 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 dun.
Of the world. I've got neck pain. Obviously, we've kept it on pretty much the whole time. Since
it's been banned. You can't, yes, we obviously have gone a bit crazy in the last couple of weeks with partying and celebrating, and there were fines if you didn't have the medal round your neck.
Yeah, so it is stuck to you. This actually isn't mine, it's one of the girls, because mine's back at the hotel. But it is a very heavy thing, and I did say that, if anyone breaks into my house, it'd be like one of those nunchuck things. Oh, you swing around and you could probably knock them out with
I reckon you could. Someone asked me, they went, is it real gold? I thought,
I don't know how you tell, actually.
No, but I also thought, and if it's not, it doesn't matter. But I just thought, well, I bloody hope so.
I hope so. It's well heavy.
Well heavy. And also, sorry, if anybody knows any anti or anti like rash or itchy material for next time there's medals. Could that please happen?
Or like a little band, like
Yeah,
you know, when
so
you're lifting.
itchy. I feel like I've got a rash. But we will give you a close up maybe later in the episode
on socials.
But they are really, really pretty.
Yeah.
And we've got a cute little box for them to go in, and they're just really special, and I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Don't want to take it off.
Don't want to take it off.
You know what? Actually, I
like the marathon, like the London Marathon. No one took theirs off, and they got free food. Meg was on the tube. No one noticed.
Yeah.
Have you seen her TikTok?
Tell you what. I actually heard an interview. I think it was Max Ojamo was saying we should get rings like in America because no one wears a medal like for like day to day, but everyone wears rings. So we should start getting like a medal and then a ring.
How would you design that ring?
I don't know, but it gets designed by the tournaments. Then you know, like, have you seen them before when they win?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, the
Olympics, NFL and stuff.
So World Rugby, this is at you and you only. Please design a World Cup ring so people can wear it forever. Anyway, our favourite part of the episode.
Oh my God, it's all just this.
It's all this.
We do even need to remind ourselves on the rhythm of this, so bear with us.
Ellie did ask before we started recording, what is it again?
Yeah.
A bit insulting, really.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions. Listeners. Questions.
That was good. I'll take it.
You were looking at me the first one. You went a bit quick with it.
I was going to start laughing because I was scared the next one I wasn't even going to be able to produce the word.
Fine. Right. Ellie, this is a good one, actually. You apparently have seemed to have taken a step back from social media during the tournament. Is this true? Was this true? And why? And was it intentional if it was?
No, I didn't take a step back. I probably just didn't use it as much as other people have used it. So it probably seems like I haven't used it as much, but I think across the board I've kind of done it the same amount I would normally use.
I reckon you've posted every week.
Yeah, I've kept up with it. I guess, you know, we are focused on the tournament and social media has gone a little bit crazy over the past few weeks, and there was times that I wanted to be more careful on it. Obviously, after the concussion, I was trying not to be on my phone as well. I've got loads of photos. There's lots of photos. We all got wind up film cameras by a company that sent them out, that once they all get developed, I think they're going to go everywhere on people's social medias as well. So you'll be seeing lots of photos coming up, and I think we've got photos to last a lifetime now. You know, we'll keep on dropping all. You don't want to put it all out at one time, but no, not intentionally. I didn't intentionally come off of social media. I didn't ban myself from that, and I've always said that, you know, these moments are like our opportunity to build our brand. So I hope that I've carried on with that. There's just been times I just haven't been on my phone as much because I've been playing Guitar Hero. Really.
If she hasn't plugged Guitar Hero enough already.
Guitar Hero sponsors. Okay, next question. That is a good question. What's been the toughest moment of the tournament, physically and emotionally?
Oh, good one. I actually think, and it's not in a bad way, this was emotionally, but like it was tough. After my 50th and it being at Brighton, like we got the opportunity to go home and I was drained. Like I'd had so much excitement, so much adrenaline, and I was like, when I got home, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't even speak to Archie. Like I don't think we like had a conversation really. Like I was so emotionally drained and like fatigued, I guess. And I did then find that next week going to Bristol, like not a struggle, but I think emotionally I was a bit like, how am I meant to go out for a quarterfinal, because obviously like that is big, but I think I was a bit like, well, how am I going to beat that? How am I going to beat that feeling? How am I going to beat that emotion? So I think that was a tricky like thing to navigate.
No, I get that. Because it's always up and down.
Yeah. It's a weird one, isn't it? Because I also think there's not been enough time as of yet to actually fully decompress and like know when like I was maybe feeling not as much myself, or like my body was sore. And yeah, I think like it has been a long time. Like if you think back to when we were in Treviso and we were recording the last episode of season 1, like that seems like ages ago. Like it's been long, and like I think it's been like the best time and the most enjoyable time of my life. And like I say, memories are going to last forever, and like no one can ever take that away from you. And that's what I was saying to a lot of the girls. I was like, you know, no one can take you being a world champion away, and no one can do that ever in your life. And I just think that's incredible.
For me, I'd probably say post the Australia game, when obviously I got concussed as well. So, how your brain works when you get concussion, you are a little bit more emotional. But I think the hard thing for me in that was that people people on social media and stuff were saying that I wasn't having a good game, and I'm not performing the way that people hoped that I would in this tournament. And for me, that was quite hard emotionally, because it's like a double-ended sword. I've set up a platform that people expect so much, and I made a couple mistakes at the start of the game. But other than that, I didn't actually have that bad of a game. But people's expectations were, if I don't score, I don't have a good game.
Yeah, or like if you make a knock on, for instance, which is like so simple and like easy and like it happens.
Normal, yeah.
It's like, oh, you're having a bad game, when actually like that happens in training like more often than people would think. Do you know what I mean?
I know. And like even after the final, we went into like a mixed zone media thing, and I got asked a couple times on different separate interviews, you know, do you think the pressure got to you? It hasn't, apart from the semi-final and final, it's not the tournament that you would have hoped for. And I find that quite tough, because my response at the time was it was the tournament that I hoped for, you know.
Yeah, we've won
it, yeah. I wasn't involved in all the games. One of them concussed, the other one, you know, I didn't come off the bench, and that was absolutely fine. That was all part of the plan. And I knocked the ball on once against Australia, got tackled into touch, and that, for me, very, very simple mistakes that you can fix. But people then turn and say you're not having a good performance, and that can be quite hard, when especially you're concussed as well, because I kind of wanted to get back on the saddle and be like, no guys, I want
clean slate,
clean slate, start again. But I had to sit out that week and spend a lot of time on my own. I wasn't right in myself. I didn't have symptoms like headache. I didn't feel unwell. I just felt quite isolated, and I think that was natural because of the symptoms that you do get. Also, I stayed away from the team a little bit, didn't come to training because I needed to recover as quickly as I could do. But then the noise going on outside of camp was that I wasn't having a good game in the lead up to that concussion. But I definitely felt the love from the people that did support me, and coming off the pitch and seeing and hearing the crowd and their love and support for me definitely, it obviously put a smile on my face. But yeah, I think that was something that was quite heavy, and I didn't realise how heavy it was until I could sit there in my room when I was on my own and just allow that emotion to be present.
Yeah.
But it doesn't add pressure going into next games, because it's not like I want to prove to other people. It was like the same thing about saying the clean slate. I've got a clean slate now and I want to enjoy it. And I remember I said that before the France game. We got asked, what's one thing that you want from this game by our backs coach? And I turned to Jess and I just said, I just want to have fun and I want to smile. I don't want to, feel like I'm doing anything for anyone else other than the girls on the pitch. And I want to feel happy doing that, and I did.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's a different emotion and feeling that you've probably felt, and like you hadn't felt that before. And I think it's hard because the media are there to do a job, which is like fine, but also like you're a human at the end of the day. Like you got concussed, to like leave you alone.
Yeah.
Do you know what, like, and like it's a very strange thing, social media, because a lot of people probably cared about you and wanted you to be better, and then there was a few that were like, well, you weren't having a good game anyway, or blah blah blah. And it's just like, okay, well, like,
it's just frustrating because you can't do anything about it, especially when then you do get injured. Yeah. So I think, other people's expectation, don't get me wrong, I have that on myself as well. And I knew I had a lot of frustrations at the end of the game anyway. Even at half time, I was frustrated we didn't get some things right in the backfield. Australia exploited that very well, and I knew that we needed to, go back to the drawing board a little bit in the backfield, because we haven't come against an opposition with two kickers that can kick either side in a long time.
Well, I got annoyed at like listening or reading stuff after that game because a lot of people were saying like our connection as a back three wasn't there, like they're surprised because of X amount of games we played together and all that stuff. And I just thought, you don't know our process, you don't know our structure, you don't like, it's not about our connection, like it's about things that as a structure went wrong in rugby and like, and it was actually getting to me, and I remember I spoke to Skaz, or like Skaz said something, she was like, it is their job. Their job is to say this stuff, like is to have an opinion, which is obviously fine, and that's what we say we do on the podcast. But when I was reading it and thinking it, I was like, I just want to like message people, or like tell people that like, it's not our connection, it's not our vibe, it's not that like, we were maybe a little bit off, but actually it was about a structural error.
We hadn't properly worked it out.
Yeah, and like it's within our game plan what we do, like, but we just hadn't, like, say, come across things like that, and it was actually getting to me as well, and maybe that's why that week I was a bit like
annoying, and that's why, because I genuinely felt when we came in at half time, I was like, okay, I know the fix, I know what we need to do here, because I think we went in with a game plan. We wanted to shut off the edges, and we just didn't quite get the timing right or the positioning right at times. And I was excited for that second half because I was like, okay, no, we've got it now. And we'll be able to show everybody and help the team out even more. So then to have to come off the field, I felt frustrated that I didn't have the opportunity to do that for us as a team, to put us in a better place and to give us confidence going into the next game. Because it didn't concern me that they got 50-22s or they found grass space. It did not concern me at all because I knew we were going to work it out. It wasn't a connection.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything that, I've got to be worried about this now because we're not firing. We were maybe 1% off or a second off of timing. And then it looks like something more than it is. But yeah, I think that's kind of been like the hard thing, but it's also, like I said, a bit of a double-edged sword because it just shows that people are watching, people are caring.
Exactly.
And that's going to come with a team that perform very well. Everyone wants to knock those off the top. And we have been playing very, very well, especially as a back three unit. Over the past few years, we've grown as a unit and produced some fantastic tries and good plays. And we've got so much more that we can do as well. Yeah. And that's just exciting more than anything.
That does lead us on to the next question, which is, what was the toughest game? Because I think that, like, I do think the Australia game led us with some questions.
Yeah. All the games in their own rights were tough. I definitely want to say in the France game, first 15 minutes was so tiring. I remember looking up at the time, thinking we were near half time, and it said 15 minutes, and I thought to myself, I don't know how I'm going to get through this because this is a lot of running and a lot of work. But I don't want to say this in a cocky way. I didn't find the games tough because I had so much faith in the team.
Yeah.
I never had a doubt that we were going to lose a game or we were getting ourselves in a sticky position. I had trust in our process and faith in the team that the work we've put in, the individuals that we've got and the units that we have will work this out no matter what happens. So, we said it on last week's pod when Canada scored first. It didn't sway me. I didn't think anything when Australia started getting the kicking game in. It didn't concern me. I knew that we was going to work it out. And then coming into the France game, I think the pressure was there. Again, we touched on it in the last pod, but the pressure was there because you're so close to the final.
Yeah,
you want to make the final. You want to obviously score, and it's going to be a physical game, but you don't want to get injured. And France are a very, very good team. So I think probably emotionally, the France game was very tough because you knew what was riding on it and you knew what happened the day before between the Canadians and Black Ferns. But I never had doubt that we weren't going to be the champions. I knew that we were going to be. So there was no game that was like tough or easy. There was always going to be lessons in every game.
No, I'd agree. I think like the Australia game challenged us in ways that we hadn't been challenged before.
Yeah.
But yeah, the France game was the one that I was like, okay, like we want to get to the final and this is make or break.
Okay, next question. When you think back to the little girl who first picked up a rugby ball, what would she say if she was watching you lift the World Cup?
I don't know, like maybe like you did it, or we did it. I think I had a lot of people from Chichester Rugby Club were at the final, and like they were so happy, and I just think that like I said, oh, I can't wait to come home and like take the medal and like for the kids to see, and they were like, oh my God, like they're gonna love it, like, and I just think it's like those moments that like you remember as a child, someone coming of a stature of like, you know, that has had success, and you remember those moments, I think. And I think like if I can just imprint on, you know, one kid, and that then they go on to, you know, be the next Ellie or the next Marcus Smith or like whoever it is, I just think that like that would be like so special. But it is crazy like to think, well, what would you think? I just like
I think I just like I
wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't know that it would be me.
Yeah.
I think I'd look at whoever was lifting it, and let's say it was me, I wouldn't recognise myself.
Yeah.
I just think, wow, she's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, because I think at that age, you know, we didn't know that was what you wanted to be.
Yeah.
You played for the love of the game, and because you enjoyed being around your friends, and I guess that's also because we didn't have those role models. I didn't watch women's rugby for a long time because it wasn't as accessible.
Yeah.
And it didn't have the visibility that it does now. So I didn't even know that could have been me. That's why I say it the way that I do, and say, oh, I wouldn't recognise that it was going to be me. So when I think of this question, I try to think of what would I say with this medal in my hand. What would I say to the younger me right now? And
they just changed the question. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it is changing. But it's because I wouldn't have known.
No, yeah.
Whereas because now I'm here, and if I was to go back and say it, I wouldn't change anything that I've done. And I'd probably just tell the younger version of myself to keep on finding happiness in everything that I do, because, you know, it's okay being successful, but if you don't,
if you're not happy,
being happy, there's no point.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest advice when someone says, oh, like, what advice would you give to my 10-year-old or whatever? I just think, well, have fun and be like happy and want to be there. Like, if you don't want to be there, then you're going to, like, there's so many other things in this world that you can succeed at or enjoy. It doesn't have to be rugby or it doesn't have to be sport. It could be like arts and drama and stuff like that, like, or music. Do whatever you want to do that gives you
And
happiness.
If you like rugby on top of it, this is the thing that's really cool about rugby now is if you want to be an artist, but you do still like rugby, you can be an artist within rugby.
Yeah, like the tries.
And that's what's really, even the music, like if you're really musical and actually that's the route that you find yourself down, it can come back to rugby. And that's what's so beautiful about the game right now is that it's got so many avenues back into it. So it doesn't matter if, you know, you're not actually very good at rugby.
Yeah.
You can still be within the world of the sport and be part of the family. Yeah. Because that's the thing that makes everyone happy.
Yeah, no, I agree. What's something we'll both take away from this World Cup that isn't about rugby?
To learn to be in the moment, what it is. You know, obviously I said earlier, I got asked about social media and stuff, and I got a new camera coming into this tournament because I was like, I'm going to be taking loads of photos and everything. And this is what I mean when I said earlier, I haven't intentionally been off of social media. There was times that I would have always taken my camera to a certain thing, and I actually didn't because I wanted to be in the moment. And I kept thinking, oh God, I've got my camera with me. I don't want to bring it actually. I want to be in this moment because I don't want to miss it. And my camera's always like kept me in the moment, like previously. But I didn't want to just be in the moment in what I could see in the snapshot, because what this tournament has done, it hasn't just been the moment that you can see in front of your eyes. It's like everything. I wanted to soak everything in. I feel love. I feel like my heart's full. And I'll take that on, you know, for as long as I can do, because I've been in it and I've felt it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's really nice. I think mine would be kind of similar, but like how the off-field was off-field. Like, I think that was the first time where like you could really switch off and like make memories and do whatever you needed to do to be best for the tournament. And I think that's potentially why we were so successful or winning, is because you could be who you wanted to be away from the pitch and like, you know, play silly games or do silly things or, you know, like go home and I don't know, just think that like it made it special that like it didn't feel like a slog. And I'm not saying that
it wasn't forced. Nothing was forced or feel.
And I'm not saying like our job is a slog. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that like I never felt like I was like, oh, or like I need time away or anything like that. Like I felt always like fresh and like ready and like I wanted to really be there and enjoy every moment.
It's made me realise like how special our team is.
So special.
Like I was speaking to Meg about this in the room because she was asking me what was the difference like emotionally going into this final versus the last final, and ended up having, you know, quite a nice DMC. And I just said how much we've banged on about on this podcast a lot about the culture that we've built. And, you know, we've said it for so long, but I really felt it in this tournament that you know how I described it. And I hope this would never happen on a pitch, but I know with the place that we're in now culturally, if something happened on the pitch, let's say I got in a fight, there wouldn't be one person that wouldn't stand up for me. So everyone would be there making sure that I'm okay. And that's really made me feel like so close to the girls. You know, whether you don't speak to them all tournament or, you know, you speak to them every single day, I just really felt the love from absolutely everybody, and it made me really appreciate how special it is what we've got. And I think that is the thing that, you know, the rugby, it did its talking, but what made it so special for us as the team is how much love we've got for each other.
No, I agree. I think the bond was and has been unbelievable.
Okay, when you look around the changing room after the final, what will you remember most about the group of women and what you achieved together?
Oh, that really segues on nicely. I remember I said to Zoe, and this was on the pitch, and I was like hugging her. No, it actually wasn't. It was when we were on the stage before Zoe Allcroft came and lifted the trophy. I literally whispered in her ear and I said, not many best friends get to do this. Like, do you know what I mean? And she turned around, and Zoe Harrison is not the sentimental type, like, at all. And she went, I know, and I could feel it and I could see it in her that, like, what we had done was so special, and that, like, no one can ever take that away from us. Like, that motion, that feeling, being there, present with your best friend is, like, crazy. And I think, like, in the changing room was so fun. Like, everyone was, like, slipping and sliding, like, photos were being taken, like, and there was no, like, judgment. Obviously, like, that has gone completely within our culture, but, like, I think it was, like, whatever you wanted to do, like, you could do. Like, there was no, like, pressure. Like, there was a area where you could get, like, photos, which was really cool, with, like, confetti and stuff, or you could sit in the changing room and, like, you know, be with your own thoughts, or, like, you know, do whatever, like, have loads of champagne, like, whatever it was, like, we wanted to do. And I think everything just kind of, like, flowed. We then went onto the pitch, but that, like, wasn't really planned. And I think everything was nice because there wasn't loads of structure, and it was in sync, and it was, like, within the moment. And I think, like, those memories will last forever. Like, say on last week's episode, like, us singing Jar of Hearts before we went into Family and Friends, like, you don't get to do that.
And I think on top of that, like, I agree with everything they said, that, you know, I'm a firm believer of, like, obviously trying to be in the moment and remember it, because our group will never be the same. Even if we go on to win the next World Cup, it will never be the same as this World Cup. And the group will change. You know, people will go, people will come. And, you know, I kind of looked around the room and, you know, I just said how special that group is. And I kind of got a bit emotional that I was like, no, I don't want this to stop. I don't want this group to, like, disperse, because these are my girls. And obviously we've got our clubs and, you know, everyone's looking forward to being back with your other girls, but the people in that changing room and wider, everyone that's been involved in the Red Roses and on our journey has been part of something incredible. We've changed the game, not just as Red Roses. I think everyone that's been involved in the World Cup, we've completely changed the game now. We've set a new standard, and we're only going to get better. It's only going to get bigger. And yeah, I just think, you know, Mitch said it at the start of the tournament, this is the opportunity to change rugby for the rest of our lives. And to everyone that came to all the games and supported us, we haven't just done that by performing on the pitch. Everyone that bought tickets, drove the thousands of miles, whatever it is.
Made the history.
Everyone's history makers. And, you know, now this is just the start. we've been saying, oh yeah, this is the build, this is now the start, and you clean slate, and you go, right, okay, how do we get better from now? How do we keep on selling out the stadiums?
Well, we've already sold 20,000 tickets for the Ireland game in like April.
I know, it's crazy.
Which is crazy.
I know.
Like that, and that's like what needs to happen, and that people want to come and they want to watch us, and they continue that like movement, which you said last week, which I think is really special. Oh, this is cute.
It's nice.
You two clearly have a special connection on and off the field. What's it like sharing this journey side by side, both as teammates and as close friends?
When I think about this question, I think about where we were a few years ago compared to now.
Yeah.
And not that it's like makes it more special, less special, but the journey we've been on away from the pitch and on the pitch as well has, it's had its ups and downs. And we spoke about it on a previous pod before, that I'm very, very proud to do this with you and to be in the position that we are in, because it makes it even more special. Because, when I think about the team and who, I really hope you're selected this week if I'm selected, because I wouldn't want to do it without you. And, we've got phenomenal players, and there will be chops and changes like all across the squad. But you're like one of the first people that I think, oh God, I really hope Jess is selected. When I get the calls saying, are you playing this week? Because
you want to ask him to be like, oh, is such and such playing, and he obviously be like, he actually probably would tell you, but he shouldn't.
But it's because I want to make these memories with you, because, let's say a few years ago we won the World Cup and we weren't in the position that we are now and how tight we are. It obviously would still be amazing.
But like I say, it's different.
It's different. Yeah. So it's like the love that I have for you and our friendship. It's like an eternal love. Obviously platonic, so no one's starting any rumours like fancy Jess. There's enough rumours out there at the moment. But yeah, no, there's no one else I'd rather do it like with, and to have like, a space like this where we can talk about it, because you probably wouldn't have this DMC unless you're a few wines deep.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that sober is really nice. It means something.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think like people might be like, oh, why didn't you hang out? Why didn't you speak? But like, we also didn't need to. Like, I know that sounds weird. And like, yeah, maybe at that brunch I was like being like, oh, I kind of do want to hang out with you. Like, I've missed you. But like, I think it makes it special because like now we can have these conversations probably for weeks on end on the podcast to be like, oh, is that what you did? Or is that what you liked? And I think that's really nice that we can relive those moments. Like not together, but then together. And like we're actually both introverted, extroverted people, and like we like our own time and we like to be with people that like we're close to. And I just think that like I agree, like there's certain people on the team sheet that I would be like buzzing about, or like I'm a big whoop and hollerer in the shirt presentation, and not that you can probably hear the tone, it changes because I try not to make it, but like I just think I'm so gassed when like the people I'm close with are getting what they deserve. And I think that like that's the same with you. I just think it's so special that we can have this forever and like it not be taken from us.
Were there any rituals or little things that you did together before each game that helped calm nerves and keep things light? Well, if you haven't heard us speak about it before, Jess and I are always like the last to leave the changing room, but something that I notice it, but people won't ever notice. You won't notice it. Is whenever I have a gel or you have a gel or a banana, you always leave half for the other person. And we are the last in the changing room, but also there's been times like on the bus or even on the pitch. So we obviously get our carbohydrate gels for energy and just making sure that we don't get heavy legs. But we both know that a full one's like probably too much. Yeah. Same with a banana. But even if I was really hungry, I'd still leave you half and then go get another banana.
It's so strange.
But there was I went into the changing room and there was half a banana on my seat, and straight away I knew that's Jess that's left that for me. And it's something that we've actually done for ages now. I think I really noticed it this tournament because, well, I don't know why I noticed it more or appreciated it.
I don't think we said as much like, do you want this or do you want half? It was just like an instinct. It was like, well, I'm only going to have half. Like there was one time that I did have the whole one, but I really needed the whole one. But like I also then went, oh, I'll still have half later. So like it wasn't like, and it's not, I don't know, it's not like a wasteful thing. It's just like a weird, like you say, it's the full one's too much. Like bananas are really sweet. Like
I also think it's more than that though, because
like looking after each other, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like even if I wanted a full banana, I'd give you half and then I'd go get another banana. But that's I guess what helps like settle the nerves is I'm not on my own.
Yeah.
Like I'm looked after, I'm cared for, and there's someone else in that moment with me, because it brings you, it's really easy to get in your own head around game times. Yeah. And as soon as, I think we're both big lovers anyway, like to general, if you're going to love big and want to show that care for other people, and to know that we've both got that for each other, and you can just like leave a banana on someone's seat and then be like, I'm thought about.
Yeah.
Definitely settles the nerves, because you're not on your own. You're never on your own, but like you're not on your own. There is someone that's there.
Yeah, no, same. And we also have this thing in the changing room, like 10 minutes before we go out. It's like shoulder club, and like we just do this like stupid.
It's well hard sometimes.
It is hard. Meg is in it, and Tat and Abby Dow. We're just a back thing actually. Boys do look at us like, what are you doing? We do like some press ups, like whatever, like anything to get our like shoulders and core like really switched on, and then Meg has now introduced punches and stomach, which me and Ellie don't really like, so we do kind of go partners, so we can just like go light. But like I really like that. I think
I actually missed it in the final, didn't I?
Yeah, it like settles my nerves. It makes me think, okay, well, because I also don't get ready until like the last minute, which I think uneases some people. But like after that, then I'll like go and get ready, and that I've only got a window of probably like 6-8 minutes. So I go and get my shoulders strapped, I get changed, and then like go to the toilet. And obviously like Elle said, we're the last ones out. But like I wouldn't say it's a ritual or it's a process, but like it's something that we do. And like I don't do it at club. So like I know I'm comfortable not doing it. So
I think though what it is though is I wouldn't do it at club because you're not there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you weren't playing, I probably wouldn't do it. Like I'd leave it like last minute normally, but I'd be like, I might as well go out now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, my nerves get settled because I know that then for a minute we've got silence, but also we're there together, and you're not going to leave the changing room without me. I'm not going to leave the changing room without you. So yeah, it just brings you back to, I don't know, like something really, really simple when there's a lot of chaos, and then we both run out together onto the pitch, and then I don't see you for the rest of the time.
They were great questions, and we've really got into a big DMC, but
no, we're probably going to go cry on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, we don't have loads of time today. So we're going to move on to the Emirates High Flyer of the tournament, and we have some very, very good nominations. I will say the nominations, and then we will quickly do a little deep dive into them, and then Ellie and I will come up with our High Flyer. The nominees are Braxton Sorensons-McGee, Sophie de Goody, and our Meg Jones. So Braxton was top point scorer, top try scorer. It was also her debut World Cup, most carry meters, and she won Breakthrough Player of the Year for World Rugby. Sophie de Goody is integral to the Canada's attack and defence. She kicks for posts. She's a menace in the line out. She also won World Player of the Year, which I just think is amazing, especially after coming back from such a tough ACL injury. So she hadn't played a lot of rugby prior to the World Cup, which I think is amazing. And then finally, our Meggie has had an incredible World Cup. Like, absolutely outstanding World Cup. In attack and defence, she's just like, I get speechless. I just think she's a talent, and I just don't think words can describe how talented she is as a rugby player. And I think she had a really tough year leading into this tournament, and I think for her to shine as much as she has shone has just been outstanding. This has to be quick, Elle.
Yeah,
I know I have run through it. I'm happy for you to add some little points here and there, but we have to come up with a conclusion.
Okay, so for me, all of them I think are deserving. Incredible to see Braxie come onto the stage and light up the way that she has done at the age that she is.
Yeah, 18.
She's made people look silly at times, scored some incredible tries. Sophie de Goody can't do wrong. She
Other than the spiral bomb.
Other than the spiral bomb, but I'll let that one off because she's well player of the year now. So yeah, she's been incredible as well, and she's definitely a player that you fear coming up against. But for me, it is Meg Jones. You know, she's our sheriff. Everything that you said, what she's been through, that isn't the reason that I think she's the player that she is today. We'll be able to get through the year that she's had and then still perform at the level that she's been playing. And you know, I said it, she's the heartbeat of the team. She's come into the room at times with her ear half hanging off, slashed down her face. She's incredible, and she's like a huge reason why we've been so successful this tournament. But yeah, she's definitely my high flyer of the tournament. There's no one else I could think it could to.
And that's so good that I agree. So our Emirates High Flyer of the tournament is Meg Jones.
Sheriff. Anyway, guys, that is it for us. We cannot wait to come back next week for another pod. We'll answer some more of the questions that you guys are sending in. Sorry we didn't get through all of them. But for now, yeehaw!